All right, so you guys may have heard a large, well-known Vancouver developer is now claiming bankruptcy. And in this video, I'm gonna be talking about what's next for real estate. So stay tuned. I'm 𝐕𝐈𝐃𝐄𝐒. I talk about Canadian real estate in my local market here of Abbotsford in the Fraser Valley. And subscribe to my channel, please. And hey, if you want to chat about buying or selling, you can do so by scrolling down into my description, clicking on the link I've provided, and book yourself right into my calendar for a time to chat that's convenient for you. All right, so Coromandel Properties, a large, well-known Vancouver developer, is filing for creditor protection, i.e. they're going bankrupt. Coromandel has 16 active real estate projects in Vancouver, BC, including a townhome development on Oak Street and West 52nd Avenue. A real estate developer with a large number of properties in Vancouver is seeking creditor protection. They're going bankrupt, citing approximately $700 million in outstanding debt. Coromandel Properties filed a petition in BC Supreme Court asking for more time to seek equity from existing partners or new partners. 8 lenders have issued default notices and have made demands on their loans, according to the petition. It says the company has had difficulty servicing debt amid rising interest rates. It also cites the city's real estate development process, which is described as complex, expensive, and slow. This is very true. It is extremely risky to build a project out in Vancouver. I know developers that have been waiting 5, 6, 7 years to build a high-rise in Vancouver, so definitely true on that end. The pace of developing the various projects has been slower than anticipated due to the lengthy application process and the discussions with the city surrounding density potential and social housing requirements. Accordingly, there have been significant delays in moving projects to completion, resulting in a lack of sales. The petition goes on to say that the developers have insufficient cash flow to complete the development of the projects and have been made unable to refinance their existing debts and liabilities or sell assets at sufficient prices to avoid loss. As a result, the development work on the various properties is in jeopardy. Now, this is obviously not good news, and I've had people reach out to me in trouble asking for help. I've heard many stories from other realtors and other people in the industry that they too have had people reach out in some big trouble. So I know for a fact, boots on the ground, that this is happening right now. People are starting to default on loans at these rates, and there will likely be more in the future. Now, when something like this happens, it can obviously cause a lot of pain in the short term, a lot of stress, anxiety, especially for people who have invested money in these projects. Now, I'm not a lawyer, but I think they should get this money back, because what ends up happening is when you put a deposit down on a pre-sale project, that deposit doesn't go right to the developer. It goes to a lawyer and it gets held in trust for exactly this reason. That way the developer can't just take your money and go spend it, so the money's not there. The money is there, it's just sitting in trust with the lawyer, and they should get it back. Now, obviously, if you're one of these people, consult some real legal advice instead of a realtor on YouTube, but they should get it back. Should. Now, this causes some short-term pain, obviously, but in the long term, I mean, this developer has over 2,000 properties that likely won't be coming to market or won't be coming to market when they were supposed to come to market. And in the long term, this will cause a massive supply constraint, especially this paired with the fact that there's 500,000 immigrants coming to Canada every single year. Obviously, some of those people already live here, but that's still a lot of people coming into the country. That paired with, we're already not keeping up with the amount of homes that need to be built, and here's 2,000 less homes that won't be built when they should be built. So in the long term, it could end up good for prices. In the short term, bad for prices. So what's next for the real estate market then? Well, in the past, when we've seen big players in the space claim insolvency or start to go bankrupt, it's usually marked the back end of a bear market. If we take a look at the Lehman Brothers back in 2008, they went bankrupt on September 15th. And if we take a look at real estate values in the next quarter, we saw the market bottom out. Actually, sorry, the next 2 quarters, we saw the market bottom out. Capitulation is always the last phase of any bear market. Capitulation basically means I'm giving up, I'm done, you're folding your hand, and you're selling out of the market. Obviously, if you're going bankrupt, you are essentially giving up. You are capitulating. I can't do this anymore. I can't make these payments. Take everything off my hands. That being said, it's also a signal that things are likely about to get worse before they start to get better. If we take a look at the S&P 500 index during this time, the market actually sold off 39% following the announcement of the Lehman Brothers going bankrupt. And it took about 7 months before we hit a bottom following this announcement. So if this is the beginning of the default cycle, depending on how long it lasts and until somebody really massive goes bankrupt, we could potentially be 7 months away from a bottom if we look at history, but I'm not going to sit here and speculate that and make a guess on that or anything. It's just historically speaking, the back end of a market cycle is always capitulation, where people have given up, they folded their hands, you see a massive drop really, really fast, and then the bottom comes in. So, I mean, if we're entering that debt cycle now, historically speaking, that is usually the back end of a market cycle. However, if Coromandel properties are in this much trouble, I'm willing to bet there are some other players in the space that are also in just as much trouble as they are. It just hasn't surfaced yet. So we'll see what happens. My guess is as good as a 3-year-old's. I think there's some more pain to come. Again, it does depend on what market you're in. Like Vancouver, I don't think there's going to be very much pain over there in Vancouver. Maybe another 5% or something like that. 47% of homes in Vancouver are owned outright with no mortgage at all. That market has been super resilient. Alberta's actually gone up in price since they've started raising rates. So it really depends where you are. You know, the Fraser Valley could probably easily come down another 10% from where we're at right now, maybe even more. Some markets are definitely going to be more resilient than other markets, and some markets are going to get absolutely hammered. Perhaps, I don't know. But yeah, we'll have to see what happens going forward. I'm not going to make a prediction on this. I made one at the beginning of the year, which so far is looking good, but we're only 2 months into the year, so we'll see what happens. But anyways, I hope you guys found this information useful, and maybe it'll help you make some decision in your life. If you enjoyed this video, subscribe to my channel, like it, and if you want to chat, you can do so by clicking on that link in my description. Book yourself right into my calendar, and we'll see you on the next one.